Hey there, this is the LEGO Batman Batwing and the Riddler Heist set. It's pretty cool, but it's surprisingly simple in how everything's put together. Let's start with a look at the minifigures this time. This is a Rebirth style Batman, and I think that the print for that torso looks very, very good. Overall, the whole thing looks pretty good to me. The face appears a little bit pale there, but not too bad just yet. And this is the newer style of cape, of course, which pretty soon we're not going to be able to call it all that new anymore. They've been around for a bit. Good printing on the back of the torso that matches the style on the front. No print for the hip or leg pieces. It's a little bit interesting that they put the belt on the torso, but I think it actually works. There's the alternate face. I like the style now of using raised goggles to give the white area to show through the cowl rather than the traditional headband style. Not the greatest print on this face. This face is a little bit better. There is some color there, but it's a little bit thin. I googled the Riddler just briefly before this review, but true DC fans will have to help me out here. This looks to me a bit like a New 52 Riddler, but also a little bit like a Detective Comics, Enigma Private Investigator version of him. Just looking at some of the specific details, but definitely in the face is more New 52 to me. But he's got his cane there, which is just done with a crowbar, which works absolutely fine. I think it's nicely scaled, and there's not much else to see here. Once again, only printing on the body for the torso. He gets no alternate face because, well, you would see it, with the style of hat that he wears. And the print for the face is okay, except for the center part of the glasses. It's a little bit bubbly and thin again. And suddenly a wild Shazam appears. This is an interesting inclusion in this set and will probably be a major draw to this set for many fans, I think, of this character. I think this is done pretty well. Not a big Shazam fan myself. Don't know much about him and the different versions. Didn't Google him, but it looks like Shazam to me. Would have been nice to include a hairpiece as an alternate instead of the hood, just so that you could swap it out yourself. But the inclusion of the actual plastic hood to go with the cape, and it's again the soft style of cape, I think works just fine. The printing for that torso is pretty good. I need to angle this so there you go. Now you can see the gold that's on there, the actual metallic gold, and he has the Power Blast pieces, which look good and work well for play as well. There's also one spare of those. That face looks okay. It looks pretty good. I like the expression. And I like that one too. Yeah, that definitely works. That's stronger, and the print quality is a little bit better on this side, I think. And lastly, here's Commissioner Gordon. Hey, this is a pretty good looking figure. The print on the face is a little bit weird, with the mustache almost appearing as if it was hand printed. That's just stamped on. All of these prints are generally done with stamps, with transfers. But that one right there just looks like a water print, or watercolor to me. But, I don't know, adds a little bit of depth to it from any kind of reasonable distance. They tried to bring the print down into the hip, which didn't work so well. The legs are okay, but just the gaps around the hip print kind of breaks the continuity there. And as soon as you turn them to the side a little bit, you don't see that brown color anymore. So it's a nice attempt. I appreciate the attempt. Better than nothing. But I mostly like the torso print, the choice of hair. He's got the very absolutely not at all realistic revolver there, because LEGO does not do realistic weaponry, firearms. It's just against their entire corporate ethos. So fortunately that one is absolutely not realistic, believable. As a matter of fact, it's not even a gun, it's just a shooter. This alternate face is pretty good. Now here, the eyebrow, at least his right, our left view eyebrow, has that little bit of thinness to it as well. But overall, this is a pretty good looking figure. I think it's pretty collectible. All right, the Batwing. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Obviously, it is clearly not at all inspired by or based upon the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton era original Batwing. I don't know why anybody would say that it is. But fortunately, it's not based on that whatsoever, but it still looks really good. And I'm happy. I shouldn't be, but I'm happy that the color scheme is actually consistent with black and a little bit of gray. You know, very little other color showing through that shouldn't be. I mean, we've got the brown right here for these actuators. I'll show you what those are about if you're not familiar with them soon. But beyond that, I mean, and even that doesn't really stand out. The only thing that stands out here color-wise in a bad way is the use of the dark tan right there. Right there. You see it? Right there. Which still isn't bad. But yeah, this is so much better than so many previous builds of all things from Lego. I guess you can see a little bit of tan right through there. But usually, you know, you turn things too much and you start to see all the wrong colors. You know, from the underside here, looking through the holes, you see tan and yellow. Those fit in perfectly fine with a bat scheme. You know, a bat livery, bat design. Bat, not bed. Got the lights under there. This is cool. And it was a really simple build. Went together so easily and fairly quickly. And yeah, it just has no fancy, weird construction techniques used. So these things on the sides are, I think, the first dark gray version of the triple tile shooter. So there are 3 1x1 tiles in there. You just push back here and they all shoot out. And good luck finding them again. Well, that was anticlimactic right there. There, I found that. Nope, no, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Got away from me after all. But these are intended to work better than stud shooters for actually connecting with targets, because you fire off a full... You can fire off just one like that, but you can also fire off an entire volley. I'll go ahead and do the rest. And they kind of go off shotgun style, so you have a better chance of actually hitting something with those. These are nice. Speaking of stud shooters, well, we have a couple here. And, well, I'll have to show you more of the pieces included in the set, but this is one of them from one of the new action piece sets that they're making for this year. I like all these accessories they've come out with. They actually have 2 versions that are similar to this that look like warheads. One of them is a little bit thicker and more grenade-like, I suppose. But yeah, it's just a nice piece. It has a bar at the end of it, so it's sticking through a hollow stud piece right there. And then the cockpit works just fine. Yeah, Batman has to angle back, but it's not bad, you know? I think it looks fine. I think it looks reasonable. Actually, he does not even need to angle that far back now that I think about it. I just pushed him back till he stopped, but let's see if I can... Yeah, that's about the limit right there. So that's not even that far. There we go. See, it almost looks like he's looking forward. Yeah, not bad. Actually, at an angle, but yeah, interior design is actually kind of nice with all the tan there. You see a little bit of yellow to the side? Ah, darn. Yellow on a Batmobile thing. Batcraft. Bat vehicle. Yeah, that's cool. Just a single console there. See a little bit of blue there, but that's okay because that's where his hands go anyway. So you see those as like lit up controls. Yeah, just a lot of the fine specifics of the design work here are nicely finished. This is super swooshable, easy to fire off these stud shooters, which have more than studs. Easy to shoot these if you want to lose some tiles, but overall, a good thing. And this is the main thing that you're paying for, so it's good that it's good. Once again, I must call upon the powers of true DC fans. Tell me, is this thing, the Riddler Copter, canonical? As far as I could see, it is not. But I'm okay with that, because now it's canonical, because it's been made into an official set. This is obviously based on a Bell 47 helicopter, the same one that was very famously used in the MASH TV show, but also famously used in the original, the first Batman movie. And we already saw this in Lego form in the classic Batcave set, but as obviously a Batcopter. So now we got a Riddler Copter, and I think it still looks good. I think I might even like this color scheme better. It relies upon just one sticker mirrored, so technically 2 stickers. One there, one there. Got this, I think this is a recolor for this piece. I don't think I've seen it in green before, but it looks good. Little exhausts on the sides. You can actually angle those if you don't like the angles. And look at that! That's a flick fire missile. Those things are still around, still being made, still being used. Flick fire missiles. Classic. Will they ever go away? I'm okay with them. I mean, you don't have to fire them off. And they certainly aren't as hard to, or aren't as easy to lose as studs for stud shooters. This thing looks pretty cool. Could use slightly longer main rotor blades, I think. Canopy could be covered up a little bit more around the back. You know, it is pretty gappy, but from most angles it's not bad looking, from most reasonable angles. So I'm actually okay with that. And you know, it's super accessible to get to the figure there. It's got 2 control sticks, and he's not really leaning up against the seat, but again, the seating area is done up nicely with good coverage, with a color that makes sense with the brown back there. Overall, I think this is a fine toy that looks pretty good. It should play all right as well. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart on me at all. And so you've got the flick fire missiles. This can spin up, and then you have a chain. You use that chain to attach to anything that you want to carry away, or maybe attach, I don't know, a figure to it or something. This GCPD patrol car is wild, bro. Wild. Because look at it from the side. It's so low slung. It's like it's flattened out. I don't think I've ever seen a Lego car made quite like this. They made some funky ones around the turn of the century and in the Racers line, in the Racers era. But this is, it's very interesting. It's a 6-wide car. Look at this. As I come towards the front, you can see its width and just how low that windscreen is. It's crazy. But it's interesting. It is different. I like that. I like the fact that it's different. 6-wide plus the fender extensions. Yeah, a single seater. As a matter of fact, if you looked at it just a little bit lower, you can see a full plate worth of the commish appearing underneath the car. It's just that low. I don't mind it. It's just surprising and different. Go to jail. Not the most not the most inventive and clever, license plate that they've ever done. Surprised that it didn't get a designer reference. Usually they do. But yeah, that's that. You got the one searchlight on the side. Got the bull bars on the front. It's interesting. I think it looks cool. I'm okay with it. I don't know what era it's supposed to be from. Again, maybe the superfans can help me out with that. Haven't looked it up. But I think it's just an interesting Lego build. It's not the easiest thing to get into, unfortunately. This seals up pretty nicely. It's attached, the center roof is attached with just 2 studs at the back here, but unless you have good fingernails, it may be difficult to get under there. So use a little bit of leverage from the light bar to start to get it up and pop that off. There's the commish, and he's got the bars behind him. Not enough room to put a figure back there or anything, but I appreciate the suggestion. And he's got his steering wheel and his shooter. The most clever build in the set is, without question, and quite ironically, the smallest. It's this safe. Now, those side pieces are here and here are windows. They are window frames with a dark green window piece, and then they just put stickers on top of those. I don't think I've seen dark green as a window pane before. So dark green on dark green just gives you a little bit of inset texture there. Going a little bit above and beyond what they needed to do, that's for sure. There's the code input side, which is strangely opposite the actual lock. Okay, but here's the best thing. You see that this hinges, right? It opens. Or does it? It's locked. It's actually locked. You need to rotate the combination dial, and then it'll open. Look at that. Such a simple thing. Just using the crankshaft piece from Technic that's used on their engines, and it just hooks behind a stud. So it needs to go up and in there, and it's just hooking behind a stud on the floor of the thing on the inside. It's not a super effective lock, but it's effective enough. For this amount of space, that's great. Super clever. Inside, 2 diamonds and 2 100 denomination bills. That'll do, especially the diamonds. But such a good, small build. Really well done. So, spare parts. This is going to take a second to sort out because in here is the rest of the action items set that they include here. So they've done some blast and splat packs previously, as I've called them. Now they've got this one that mostly focuses on weapon parts. I mean, these make all sorts of great textures. They can be used as wheel covers, as discs to shoot out, as fans. You know, they're super useful for so many different things. But I mentioned that there's a different style of the grenade or warhead type of piece. Not a weapon, though. Not an actual explosive. You know, just a fantasy thing. But there's this one, and then this is the one that we already saw on the Batwing. So just a different shape of head to it. And an extra not gun whatsoever. Some extra tiles to get lost. That's good. I can immediately replace one that I already lost. And extra power blast piece. I mean, there's so much stuff here. This is cool. I love when there are extra pieces that are useful. An extra diamond, too. That's probably worth something on eBay. Might be worth a little bit more if you could actually see it, though. All right. Oops. Looks like I missed the step in the instructions where you attach the hook onto the chain, but you don't need to because there's a anti-stud on there. You just took it on directly, but yeah, that was supposed to be there. So it's not supposed to be a spare, but it can be. Anyway, is this a good set? I think it is. I think that all the builds are interesting, even if they're not that advanced, except for the safe, which is super cool. The car is weird, but interesting and different in a good way, I think. The main thing that you pay for, I think, is very good. Again, simple, but effective. Nice to look at on display. Nothing that really detracts from it too much. I see now how they very cleverly hid the dark tan on the front as much as reasonably possible by bumping up the shadow there artificially. That's an actual paint mark that somebody did in Photoshop. But anyway, yeah, that's super nitpicking. This is actually pretty cool, whether it's canonical or not. And I think that all the figures are good. All of those are memorable, collectible, except I don't like the fact that they're showing full skin tone on the Batman, same as with the others when we don't actually get that full skin tone. We just get kind of a zombie Wayne sort of look. But yeah, pretty cool set, and I think the value is there when you add up the values of all of these things put together. Yes, I'd love to see it go on discount a little bit, but its suggested retail price, I think, is within a reasonable range for what you get. As usual, if you want to see all of this get built up, check out either of my builds, or both of them if you want, I guess. I've got the real-time one with dramatically upgraded sound, and I've got the speed build version, which is now smoother than ever with an upgrade to visual quality. So try one of those if you want to. I will link to both of them on screen right now, and I'll talk to you again as soon as I can.